Mike.
Okay.
You are on.
So hey, if you're tuning in right now to Stormfront Freaks Raw, we call this Raw because you are catching the recording of episode 114 tonight. This will be the recording. We always, if you prefer to listen to the edited version of the show, you can always check your podcast app of choice. Your what they call Podcaster, is that right? Or what are they? App catcher.
App catcher. Well, that's actually
catcher.
Yeah.
App. Something
Is this
like
your
that.
first time doing this?
It is. Welcome to episode 1. But no, if you do want to listen to the edited version, that'll be available usually the Sunday following our recording, which would put us at September 20th.
Correct.
You can check your podcast app catcher of choice for the audio version, but this is the video version. So hello to anybody that's live. Feel free to join in with any chat or questions you might have. We might have opportunities to ask our guest tonight, Mike Eilts, who's with DTN. He's the Senior Vice President of Weather at DTN, so we're looking forward to talking to Mike. Or in between, because if you're watching, you're going to catch all the breaks and everything else, and that's also a good time. We might ask Mike some of your questions. So feel free to chat and add those as well.
Hey, Maz, is that the house you want or the house you have?
Sure.
Yes.
It's too sunny and bright for me. I don't know. And I don't even play piano.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Brady.
It's going to take
How's
a lot of
life?
extra time.
Hey, Brady,
Life-
is this the
life is
first
good.
time you and I have been on together?
I think so. I think it's
What?
the first
Oh, wow.
time.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it really? Wow.
Yeah.
so.
You've just done a really good job of scheduling us apart, Phil.
Good.
Yeah.
Well,
Good to finally meet you,
we'll see
Greg.
how it works. We'll see how it works tonight, and this may be the last time you guys are together, too.
Oh,
Who
my,
knows?
Here we go.
Nice.
Who knows? So,
Did you see a message from Jen as well, Phil?
yes, I did.
Okay.
She might not join us tonight. So it might be an all guys episode. This could get scary, Mike.
Sausage party.
Blazing Saddles.
That does. Yeah, there we go. That'd be awesome.
God, I missed that movie.
I've never
that
seen that movie.
Oh,
Shut
you're
up,
kidding
Phil.
me?
I haven't.
That's your
yeah.
homework assignment tonight, dude. You gotta watch Blazing Saddles. Oh my
Blazing
god! It's
What
So-
kind of movie? What kind of movie is it? Like, is it like a western?
Shut up,
It sounds like a
Brady.
western.
It's
It sounds like a western. I'm just being honest here.
it is. It's a Western comedy that is so inappropriate for 2020.
Like Mel
Totally.
Brooks. Is it Mel Brooks?
Mel
Yeah.
Brooks. Yeah.
Yeah.
When was it made?
Early '80s, 1982.
Oh gosh, I can't do
Before
anything
you were
before
born?
1995.
Oh, totally before.
I can't.
I just
do it
can't.
just before 95.
I don't know why, but I just can't. I mean, I get that there's good movies, but the production value, I just can't. I'm just so used to the
Have
Michael
you,
Bay.
You're on
slow
Stormfront
motion
Freaks
explosives.
podcast, and you're complaining about production value.
Hey,
Sure
Oh,
thing.
I don't know. MJ does a pretty decent job.
I try.
I love this. The sound effects. They're pretty damn good.
Okay.
Hey,
speak-
go ahead, Phil.
Well, I was just going to quick ask MJ my audio one more time.
You are
How's it?
you're still getting some distortion.
Okay.
You're hot.
I'm hot. Coming in
MJ,
hot.
did you see the new notification from StreamYard about video intros?
About.
I did. Yeah, I haven't done anything with that yet. I'm still trying to figure out. I'm supposed to be able to move people around on the screen, and I can't do that. So
Mhm. Who's making fun of my boot?
It was me. I always make fun of your boot. You boot.
All aboot. All-
Every time you say it, it just reminds me. Oh, that's right. He's from Canada.
Yep.
Please tell me, Brady. Please tell me you've seen Canadian Bacon with John Candy.
Oh, that is good. I do like that one.
I've had Canadian bacon once. That's
Bob and Doug McKenzie and Jim Candy's in that, or
John Candy.
Yeah, oh,
And
yeah.
I love.
I've never heard that movie. I've never heard of those actors.
All get
I've
out
only had
here.
Oh my
Canadian Bacon
gosh.
once. So
The
Phil,
best.
I think we need to do a show like we did with Twister. I think we need to do a show like that and have
With
Brady.
Brady.
Just an education show for me. I'm in.
How do you,
I'm always
how
down
do
to
you put
learn.
weather in with that? That's what I'm
Yeah,
trying to
great movies Brady's never seen.
Hey,
Hey,
Greg.
I'll
Greg.
show you guys. You guys show me that movie, and I'll show you Sharknado. How about that? That's the way we'll tie it back. To
I
weather.
hate. Hey, I will say this: Canadian Bacon. The best scene is the guest appearance by Dan Aykroyd as a Canadian Mountie when he arrested the guy because he was doing graffiti. Not because he was doing the graffiti, because he wasn't doing it in both English and French Canadian. Yeah,
Nice.
it's like wasn't all inclusive.
Mike is seriously questioning why am I in the
I
show
gotta go,
again?
guys. Right there.
Phil, is there anything you can? Because you still have you're
right,
still
hold on.
getting
It's
cut out or
my sound.
distorted
Okay,
at the
I
top
can
end.
get my head.
I'm getting cut out.
Well, it's getting it
Test
distorts.
1 2. Wow.
Is Mike quiet?
Am I okay or?
He's a little quiet. Greg's actually a little quiet, but
I'm quiet.
It's shocking.
I haven't heard that one before.
hey, quick. While he's trying to fix that, quick story, Greg. Way back when in the mid 90s or so, I was at a conference in Montreal, and I ordered pizza with Canadian bacon. And
Wow.
And the
And?
gal looked at me and then I realized I went, I bet you don't call it that here. But no,
You know what?
it's
I had
ham.
never heard of Canadian bacon until the movie.
Right.
You know what? I like my burgers with American cheese. Just saying.
You don't like your burgers with American
No, I
cheese?
do.
Oh, you do. I see.
I do. I
Okay.
do.
Okay. Is this any better? Test 1 2. Still
Yeah,
coming in. Is
It's
that better?
but now you're a little
Leave
quiet.
your mic on, Phil. I mean, what are you, a rookie? Come on, man.
I
MJ,
made
how
some
is mine?
adjustments.
Is mine a little
and that's what
louder now?
happened. Sorry. How's it flying?
MJ, try Mike again. He seemed a little
Am I
quiet.
okay or not?
Go give me something a little more.
Am I doing good? Am I quiet? Too loud? Too
Yeah,
quiet?
if you speak up, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Yeah,
yell.
Like I said, you'll be fine. And if you can, even Mike, when you do start to talk, if you can, you look like you're sitting back a little ways from whether it's your camera with the microphone or whatever it is that has the mic. But you again, it's we're getting really nitpicky at this point. So
Yeah.
forgive
Got it.
audio snobs. Okay,
I don't-
everybody ready? I think we got everybody's mic good. Yes.
It'll work.
After all that,
So love starting a show with that, don't
Yeah,
you?
well, you know-
someone's drinking.
It'll work.
You know what has to happen, Phil, is you've got too much treble. You need some bass, and you got to cut because it's too. I think I'm getting that distortion at the higher range,
Yeah.
and there's not. Does that sound right, Maz? Am I accurate there?
Yeah, and Brady is all about that bass.
He's all about that bass.
Oh, I'm all about
All right,
the bass
test
for
1
sure.
2. Test 1 2. Is that better or worse? Better or worse? Test 1 2.
That's-
Everybody's, and then I go this way.
Phil, you look fantastic.
That's
So
halfway.
That's too little. Go halfway.
You're definitely the
To
face of
halfway.
this
Halfway
podcast.
was about where it was, but this is halfway
you go.
right here.
All right, let's go with that.
Now, I'll adjust the high end a little bit, going this way. Now I'm starting to go higher on this end. Test 1 2
That's too
3.
much.
You're
Too
too
much.
tinny.
Too tinny there. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm right here, and I will try one more time. This is the low end. I'm going lower on the low end,
That's
and now going higher on the high end. 1 2 3 4 5.
stop
6.
right there.
I basically have an on and off on mine. Okay,
That's
so
what I got on mine too.
All right, so we will we'll do our quick intro.
Yeah, that's
Intro-
actually better. So go.
Okay, we'll intro the show. Mike, we're just going to make a brief comment that you're going to be on the show. That's not your formal introduction yet. And then it's coming.
I
Hold
got
tight.
it.
It's coming.
we hope that
Have we
wasn't it.
started yet?
And then,
Hey, Mike, it was nice meeting you.
Time to go.
and then we're going to quick introduce the team, what everybody's drinking. And then Maz, you've got Mike's introduction. Good?
Yes.
All right, here we go.
We
Coming in.
for all those Canadians.
Coming in 3, 2. Hey, welcome everybody to the most entertaining weather podcast on your listening and viewing device. This is the award-winning Stormfront Freaks podcast. Check out our website. Go to stormfrontfreaks.com. There's some cool stuff there. Number one, you can monitor the hurricanes that are making landfall on our interactive Zoom Radar Storm Chaser map. So this will have all the feeds of the storm chasers that are actively following that particular hurricane, so you can actually stream their feeds, which is pretty cool. And it's an interactive radar. You can do lots of different things to see what's going on. Plus, you can check out our library of past episodes, which include hurricane chasers like Jeff Piotrowski and Josh Morgerman. Obviously, it's hurricane season, which is why I'm bringing all that up. But tonight, it's episode 114.
Wow.
And we've got the co-founder of WDT, who are the makers of RadarScope, but now a part of DTN. And he's the Senior Vice President of Weather. Mike Eilts is with us tonight.
Yeah. Welcome.
So excited to have Mike on board. We're obviously going to go through the lightning round game show with him. And stay tuned later on. We'll have hashtag WeatherFools. And we also get a little visit from Weather Trollbot 5000. So
Oh, that's
this ought to
tonight?
Be ready, Maz.
be an amazing show tonight. But before we get to all of that, we got to find out who do we got on the team tonight from our co-hosts. This is also a great time if you happen to be listening to us on Apple Podcasts. Turn the speed down to half speed, and you can listen to us introduce ourselves at half speed. So let's see who's here. It's always happy hour. And so we're checking in with everybody to see what they're drinking. I always start up in Minnesota with MJ. What do you got?
I'm here, and I'm stuck on the captain for the last few episodes, so we got some more of the Captain and Coke.
Draining that dry. All right, Brady. Brady, what do you got?
Well, it's been a little cooler lately, so I've been feeling a little bit mountainous. So I went with the Summer Pills from the Breckenridge Brewery. It's pretty
Nice.
good. Just trying to milk the last days of summer here because I'm a fan of fall or
I hear
winter.
you.
So
That's fair. That's understandable. Maz, what are you drinking?
My Corona. Yeah.
wait, hold that
In a
up. again.
transparent
Hold
bottle.
that,
yeah,
hold that
hold
up.
that up again.
Yeah.
Oh, I keep the beer in
Is
there.
there any
I
in
have.
there? Is
No,
that just a fake bottle?
It's
Oh,
partially.
gotta
there.
love green screen. Green screen technology at its finest. All right, Greg Johnson up in Canada. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking Canadian whiskey with
course.
some Coke. So whiskey and Coke again.
And
What's
Canadian
your
ham
Canadian whiskey and like other whiskey? I don't know.
So
made in Canada.
bourbon is a little bit different. American whiskey is a little bit different, and then it's definitely not Scotch.
Okay.
And that's how he feels about that. All right, Maz, I'm going to turn it over to you. Let's get to our guest.
I'm excited. We didn't ask what Mike was drinking, did we?
Or you,
Phil.
Phil.
Or Phil. What's Mike
Phil.
got?
I'm drinking
No one's-
iced tea. That's all.
Long Island.
I Long Island iced tea. There you go.
No, and I usually don't cover what I drink anymore because if you listen to the show, the intro already introduces me right off the bat. So everybody knows my voice, so I don't cover that anymore. But if you really need to know, we've taken a trip down to Tennessee, Gatlinburg, if you've been there. And we also went to Hocking Hills in Ohio, both very famous for their moonshine.
Ah,
And so I'm drinking a little caramel apple cider moonshine tonight.
there you go.
Are you
Watch
like,
out, Phil. That's dangerous. That stuff is dangerous.
are you like half mooning it right now? Or what?
I'm getting there. Maz, go ahead. Let's get rolling.
All right. Hey, we're excited to have Mike Eilts tonight. Mike worked at the National Severe Storms Lab and was co-founder and former president and CEO of Weather Decision Technologies, known as WDT, until its sale to DTN in 2018. WDT's core offerings included Skywise, WeatherOps, Frontier, and the well-known RadarScope, still supported by DTN today. Mike is now Senior Vice President of Weather at DTN and leader of the Weather Business Unit, which would be the largest privately held weather information company in the world if it were a standalone company. So welcome, Mike. And how do you beat RadarScope? What do you got now? What's next?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, well, first of all, thank you all for having me on the show. I'm really excited to be here, and congratulations on these 114 shows. That's awesome. RadarScope, the story of RadarScope is as president of WET about 10 years ago now, this team of 4 had built RadarScope on the side of their other job at the University of Oklahoma. And I loved the app so much. I was a storm chaser. And so we bought the company, we bought the app, and we hired the 4 people and brought them into the company. And we've done a lot of great stuff. I think our revenue is about 6 times what it is now now is what it was when we first acquired them.
Wow.
And it's just a great app. And the team is just so dedicated. And we'll keep adding. We just added a whole new bunch of maps, and next version coming out very, very soon. I think before next spring is going to be amazing. Some really new, cool stuff. So we just keep making it better, honestly. We have over 100,000 subscribers now and over 500,000 downloads. So it's just a big app for us, and it's a very exciting place. It's we're so well known because of it too. That people attribute RadarScope to WDT, now to DTN, and that just creates a lot of value for us in the rest of our business as we go forward.
So what's next after senior vice president?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I used to be president and CEO, so I'm downgrading now, but working in a much bigger, we had about 100 people or so in our business when we sold to DTN. And now the DTN weather unit is somewhere between 500 and 700, depending on how you count people in a kind of matrix organization. But we bought the largest weather company in Europe, the largest weather company in Australia, and 5 weather companies in the United States. And we've combined them all together, and we're integrating them all together as to be one big conglomerate, and super excited to lead that whole integration that's going on right now. And but definitely focus on B2B. We're not really a B2C business. We're a B2B business selling to many big companies.
You're a capitalist, Mike. You buy, you fire, you buy some more.
Well, I'm not sure about firing, but I think,
okay.
Our thesis is that the weather industry there's so many weather companies out there, and they're all pretty small. And so somebody needs to come in and just consolidate it. And so we're doing that, and doing it very smartly and very thoughtful, and trying to be global at the same time, and think about how to be best in technology, we have 200 forecasters all over the globe that are talking to our customers, or we call them risk communicators now, because they're doing less and less of tweaking forecasts and writing things. They're doing more like talking to our customers and helping them through Hurricane Sally, for example, and all the hurricanes, Hurricane Laura this year. I mean, all those things are when we really provide value to our customers. When stuff hits the fan, that's when we really create the value. And so having 200 people with the best tools in the industry is really valuable to us.
So Mike, sorry, go ahead.
I was just say, where are some of the guys around the world that you've got forecasting?
We have a team in Burnsville, Minnesota. We have a team in I grew up in Minnesota, by the way, but live in Norman now. We have a team in Appenzell, Switzerland. But our European biggest group is at Utrecht, which is just outside of Amsterdam. And then we have Sydney, Australia, a group down there too. So that's the big groups. And we have some small ones in Aberdeen and some other places for some kind of unique small customer sets. But the big ones are Burnsville, Utrecht, and Sydney.
So, Mike, when you say business to business, give us a case example of who's a customer. What are they buying from you? What's the actual information that has value for them?
We work across many sectors, but I can give you an example. BHP, one of the largest mining and offshore, they do a whole bunch of things across the whole energy industry. So we're helping them with their offshore oil. We're helping with their mines. We're helping them with lots of other transits of information, transportation of things. And what we're providing them is really site-specific and customer-specific information. So if they're in the offshore space, is when is a cold front coming? When is Hurricane Sally coming? What can we do about it? So it's not. We're getting far away from just providing weather forecasts. Now we're providing analytics. And I'll give you one other example. Companies in the Northeast, utilities in the Northeast, for example, Eversource is one of them, but many other ones. We have a product called Storm Impact Analytics. And the concept is we're not giving our utility customers forecasts anymore. We're giving them forecasts of power outages. So we're taking all that weather information and machine learning, look at the past 5 years. And then from that, we're in real time, we're saying in 2 days, you're going to have 1,500 outages or 3,000 outages or whatever. And so they can start not just saying, "Oh, here comes a bad storm." They can say, "Oh, we're going to have 3,000 outages. Let's get this many crews already put in those locations," and those kinds of things. So we're trying to take one more step of the value chain, if you will, to really get into the artificial intelligence and machine learning side of the business.
Yeah.
What do you base that on? If you're like, I was thinking you'd be like, well, we got a 45% chance you're going to have some power outages. And you're like, no, there's going to be 6,732 people. You know, I'm like,
it actually is a probabilistic thing. So we'll say you have 4,000 outages plus or minus 800 or 3,000 plus or minus 200. And it's all based upon probabilistic forecasting that goes into the machine learning. So if you have, a spread of forecasts coming from ensembles or whatever, we have a proprietary way to do that. And then we run machine learning on top of that. We get a spread of forecasts of outages. And so we turn that into kind of a graphic for our customers to say, so you have a range of 2,000 to 4,000 or whatever it is. So they can make decisions. Yeah, it's pretty scary to say 3,000, for example, as a number. But when you say 2,000 to 4,000, they can understand the range. And sometimes it's, 2,700 to 3,100 too, depending on the spread of the input model forecasts. It can change quite a bit. So it's a very sophisticated way to get to. It's taken us the last 3 years, honestly, to really build a sophisticated and handle the different, sometimes in the Northeast, hurricanes come flying up the eastern seaboard, nor'easters, summer storms, all those things. And so we got to kind of handle winter, even just heavy snowfalls cause outages, right? And so all those different things we have to think through and run different kinds of machine learning models to help with that. So big important way to think about the changing the weather business, basically.
Do you have Mike, I feel like we put the cart ahead of the horse here. I don't know if that might be the right phrase, but so tell us about like where you came from, what your background is, where did you get this passion for meteorology, and then I see here you also worked at the Severe Storms Lab. That's pretty freaking cool. So talk a little bit about that and like where you grew up and where this passion for weather really came from.
Well, I grew up in Minnesota, in St. Paul, and spent my first 19 years of my life there, 2 years at the University of Minnesota. And after that, I decided, one, I needed to get south, and two,
smart.
Yeah, and two, I wanted to get to one of the better, University of schools of meteorology. And honestly, I decided between Wisconsin and OU as my choices, and I chose OU mainly because it was south, honestly. And I was a golfer, so I played golf at the University of Minnesota and came down to Oklahoma, and they're far better down here, and I couldn't play on the team here. But I got quickly embedded into the meteorology program, storm chasing, got my bachelor's degree, got my master's, worked for another 2.5 years at the National Severe Storms Laboratory as a graduate student, and did a lot of cool things there, and they hired me on. And, in total, as a student and as an employee, I was there almost 18 years. And the kind of like the entrepreneur, I got an MBA about maybe 7 years into that process or so. And as an entrepreneur stuck in the government, if you will, I was given a team of 8 people, and I turned it into 100 people. And we did some really cool stuff for the NextFab program. Almost all the software for all the algorithms, the SCIT and TVS and Hail and all those algorithms and Precip came from the organization that I was running. Plus, we built a lot of the software for the Terminal Doppler Weather Radar program for the FAA. So it was just a fun time. I honestly built this team, but in the end, I ended up having 100 people working for me, and I was a bureaucrat, and I was signing 100 paychecks every 2 weeks. And had to go find more money to keep them alive and all that. And I hit the top of my pay scale at the age of 34, right? So it was time to do something else. And that's when me and 4 other guys spent about a year kind of planning and thinking through the process of starting WDT and licensing technologies from the University of Oklahoma and from the National Severe Storms Laboratory to help us get started. And, 4 guys in the garage, we always say we kind of jumped off a cliff together and hope we build wings on the way down or build a parachute or whatever the saying is. And, we survived, and, we formed it right in 2000, right when the market just crashed and everything. And we hung on and made it. And, we continued to grow over the years. And after 18 years in that, so it's 18 years for Storms Lab, 18 years in WDT, and we sold it to DTN. And that was about 18 months ago, roughly, I think, something like that.
Are you guys publicly traded?
No, DTN is a privately held company owned by a Swedish Switzerland family fund. And they were bought out from Schneider Electric about 3 years ago. But DTN has a long history of weather and agriculture both over the years. If you're a farmer, and especially in the Midwest, you would have known the DTN. There's DTN, satellite on a lot of houses, and we still have 25,000 customers that have a satellite delivered weather and ag pricing information. Obviously, it's slowly going down, but farmers just love to hold on to that satellite. We try to sell them internet stuff and everything else, but they love their satellite dish and that monitor. So, so ag and weather, and then refined fuel. So we really help the downstream side of the energy business, which is basically delivering fuel to 7-Elevens and those kind of places. We help all the pricing and logistics of that part of it. So,
I got to ask this question, Mike. Do you have any of the hail insurers as clients?
There's a great story there, but absolutely. So a long time ago, we built one of the algorithms. We licensed from the Severe Storms Lab through the University of Oklahoma was the hail algorithm as part of NexRad, and we took that and did a lot more work with it and turned it into like this hail swaths on the ground basically. And we sold that and turned that into about a $2 million a year business. It was one of our fastest growing things back in the early mid 2000s basically. And through a process, we ended up partnering with Verisk, and Verisk, a big analytics insurance company, now sells that product through their host solutions. And so today we have bigger than a $2 million business and just selling hail information to roofers and insurance companies. We sell on both sides of the game, basically.
Wow.
How do we get in on this? That's what I want to know.
Hey, Mike, I want to go back and ask you, so you're in Norman, Oklahoma, and you talked about obviously why you started there at the National Severe Storms Lab, but is there a strategic reason why you're still there now? Are you still working with National Weather Service and NOAA and NSSL and all those organizations that are down there in Norman? Is there a benefit there, or is it just that's where you've been living and you can work remotely? And
I always say Norman is a huge advantage to us in the marketplace because we are here in a community of about 1,200 people that work in the weather enterprise, between the academic and private and public sector, and the National Weather Center is here. And so we're just part of that. And so some of it is formal relationships with groups and licensing technologies. Some of that is just sort of that you rub shoulders and talk to people. You can't do that in the COVID world, but you talk to people and you get to know. You hire people, they hire people from us. So there's just kind of this natural place. Norman's become really, I think Norman and Boulder are the two places in the world where there's kind of this weather conglomerate, if you will, that lives. And so we think it's a huge differentiator in the marketplace to be in Norman, and we intend to stay here as part of DTN.
How much of your background is meteorology versus like business? Because, there's a lot of business there.
So, I got a master's degree in meteorology, and, I've written something like 70 formal papers and publications in my 18 years in the Severe Storms Laboratory. So I started there, but then I got an MBA in entrepreneurship and also in the finance side of the business. And then it's just school of hard knocks. 18 years running a business is you learn an awful lot, right? And sometimes because you make mistakes, sometimes you do good things, but mostly you just persevere and you figure it out. But it's been an exciting run to start a business, grow it to 100 people, and now we're running a business unit basically, which is very similar. A much bigger size, and so you learn a lot along the way. But an MBA really helped to get me started that for sure.
Mike, what do you like more, the business side or the weather side, or a little bit of both?
Yes, yeah.
Do you still storm chase?
I do, but I always call it like gentleman storm chase. I've got 2 daughters that now are in college and a wife, and we go out maybe 3 to 5 times every spring now. It's definitely gentleman storm chase. You see it on the radar, you drive to it kind of thing. So if it's within 2-hour drive, we go after it.
You go on radar scope and drive to it.
Absolutely. Right? I put my radar scope shirt on usually and have my radar scope. My 2 daughters are not in meteorology, but they both know how to use radar scope. And one of them does the maps for me and one of them does radar scope and tells me where to go. And it's become a kind of a fun family thing that we do every spring, and we just have a blast with it.
Are they going to follow in your footsteps with meteorology degrees, or?
I try to get him into golf. I try to get him into meteorology, and I fail completely as a father. So, but one wants to be a doctor and one wants to be a lawyer. So they're doing okay.
Those aren't bad professions.
Yeah, that'll come in handy. We're all getting older.
All right, before we go to break, talking about radar scope, you mentioned earlier that there are some new things you've got on the horizon. I think you said in the spring. Can you give us a little hint as to what
Well,
you're
I could,
working
but I have
on?
to shoot you if I do.
I'm in.
Do it.
That's all right. I'll give you my address.
No, we're continuing to do some major upgrades in the mapping capabilities, and I think we just did a big launch of a new mapping capability. It's much faster and has more information in it, and we're continuing to innovate in that space. I think that's one of the key things, and speed is always important. And we're also adding radars. If you've seen the latest version, we have radars now in Germany and Australia and South Korea, and you'll see now that we're a global weather company, you'll see radars from all over the world get input to radar scope. So, I think mapping and more radars and more locations, and even just some more, things like we just added like SPC outlooks to the app not recently, and so a little more content to go along with radar data. But we also don't want to turn it into like a model viewer or other things either. We want to really stay true to our North Star, which is being the absolute best radar app out there in single site. And so that's how we look at it. And, it's just a constant build. And, part of the effort is just to keep up with the constant changes that Apple, we're on a lot of platforms. We're on Microsoft, we're on Mac, we're on iOS and Android, obviously, we're on Apple TV, so keeping up all of those screens basically is quite a bit of work too for a team of 5. And so a lot of us making it sort of consistent across all 5 platforms that we're on.
Yeah, we have a lot of worldwide listeners that'll enjoy hearing that there's going to be some more radar available.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking right now. Looks like there's a storm over Kim Jong-un's place in North Korea right now.
Well, hey, Greg, I got a question for you. Have you seen the lineup of Stormfront Freaks merchandise at helicity.co?
Me?
Yes, you. I think you're the only Greg on the show tonight.
Well, that question came from out of blue. No, Phil, tell me about it.
God.
I'll give you a heads up next time. But I'll tell you what, we've got shirts, mugs, face masks, and you also got to check out our new stickers. Just go to helicity.co, and you can go to the brands tab and find all of your Stormfront Freaks favorites there. But it is time for a quick break. We'll be right back with Mike and a chance to play our lightning round. So stay tuned.
The studio audience is all amped up.
Oh, they're amped.
Free beer at
Was
Hell.
that really loud?
That's right.
Hey, Mike, while we're on the break, tell me about the situation with the Canadian radar. Like, it took a long time for RadarScope to be able to get access to that. That must have been a giant pain in the ass.
Well, it took quite a while, and then the last 3-4 years they're doing one radar, taking radars down, and they don't come up for like another year later, and and all that. But we ended up getting the data through the University of Oklahoma. Actually, they got a feed first, and that's how we did it. Now we get it directly, but it was a pain. It
used to be so frustrating when we'd get up into the northern plains, and if anything was in those Canadian radar space, we always had to go off RadarScope. So it was nice that they can actually get that now. So that's cool.
Yeah. We made a big push to try to get, and we even have some research radars now too, University of Oklahoma and other places. If you look hard, you can find these research radars wherever they might be parked for 6 months or 3 months, or even if they go to chase a hurricane or whatever, we can hook to them too. So, and bandwidth is so much easier than it used to be. So, we get the data back to our facilities easily and do things with it.
Mike, I got to ask you, how many times a year are you guys going to Amsterdam?
I was going once a month, basically.
Nice.
For about a year, so I was there a lot.
Write it off.
It's a pretty amazing city, though.
It's an amazing city. And Utrecht is just outside, but it's the same culture and the same thing. And so I spent a week a month, basically, and sometimes 2 weeks a month while we were doing all the early integrations and that kind of stuff. So
you don't get pushback, honey. I'm going to Amsterdam again. Okay.
I literally traveled every single week for about 52 weeks.
Wow.
And then it just shut off, right? And now she's like, "When you leaving?" Yeah.
Nice.
When you get
Hey,
back.
shout out to we got Melissa and Garrett. Glory is on.
And Molly Crockett's.
Molly.
is on, and Garrett said he's about 2 hours from Gatlinburg.
Yep.
And he said Old Smoky Moonshine is good, and you guys have probably seen that because they distribute all over the place. But if you're in Gatlinburg, you got to go to Sugarland's Shine because that stuff is killer. If you guys have ever seen the show Moonshiners, I think it's on History Channel or something. They got some deal with those guys that they actually make some of their shine there. They got some deal with Chipper Jones, the Braves. To make some kind of iced tea. Mike, he makes an iced tea moonshine, buddy.
Hey, there you go.
Nice.
He like winks, like
I know. I didn't know that.
Anytime you combine like
Sounds
moonshine
really
with iced tea,
good.
apple pie, that is just dangerous.
You're
You're just gonna down it, and then an hour later you're gonna be passed out on the floor and like, what just happened? You know?
Brady, you sound like you're speaking from
Yeah,
experience.
it kind of does.
Where's your mic? Where's your mic, Brady?
It's right here.
Oh,
I can hold it up like this if you want. I can be like a reporter.
Hey, shout out to Kyle. He was the first one here tonight.
Oh wow.
oh,
20 minutes before we started. So
wow.
Yeah, die hard.
dedication.
Okay, so here's what we're doing. Coming back from break, I'll start off with another question for you, Mike. We'll do a few more questions before we hit the lightning round. Maybe about a quarter till we'll hit the lightning round. And then take our second break after that. Sound good?
Can I ask a question too? And it's not the Amsterdam question.
Oh, yeah.
Although I wanted to. All right.
I got to figure out which one I want to
Next
ask.
time
here.
around, can you wear like a green shirt? You just-
On Halloween.
Right,
On
yeah.
Halloween. Okay.
There you go.
Please.
All right, so here we go. We are coming
Just
back
ahead.
in 3, 2. Hey, welcome back, everybody. We've got DTN's Senior Vice President of Weather, Mike Eilts, with us. And Mike, this is always, to me, a very interesting topic because one of my frustrations, understanding how quickly businesses can make decisions and move, and how slowly government entities make decisions and move. Yet we are very reliant as a public on, in the weather's case, the National Weather Service and warnings and watches and communication and a lot of that stuff, where their ability to change. And here's what's amazing. So you were at the NSSL, and every time we talk to Harold Brooks or we talk to someone like that, and we're listening to what's coming out of the NSSL and some of the new ideas, they're all amazing. And they're all like, oh, that's going to be great and can't wait for that. And how far out are we from that? And it's like, I don't know, maybe 2 years, 2 to 5 years, 3 to 5 years. And it's like, whoa. And where businesses, right? And so we've seen things where some weather businesses have started issuing their own warnings, right? And they've got a better and a more detailed way to identify maybe where a tornado could be and to where to warn. And they're maybe just jumping ahead now and saying, we're going to do this and we're going to make these decisions and not wait till the National Weather Service maybe is able to get that out.
Right.
Where do you stand on that? Obviously, with your dual background,
Sure.
What's your thought on that? Where are we going? And do you think businesses in the future are maybe going to be able to start taking some of this communication to the public or warnings or whatever it might be and maybe start doing more with it and be the center?
So a great question. I mean, if you go back in way when we started WDT, one of our frustrations at working in the Severe Storms Lab, we were doing all this great stuff, and we figured it typically took 7 years for the government to actually implement what we had developed there. And because they wouldn't take our code, they would recode it and do a bunch of other things that are really important for a very stable, long-term solutions. But our core thesis was we could take those same technologies and operate and run them in real time right away, within 6 months and go to market with those kind of things. And that's what we did. And I'd say today, I mean, the National Weather Service is a great organization. We consider them a big partner, a really, really positive relationship with them. However, we do things, we think, much faster, and we take technologies and ideas and move faster in the marketplace. If you get directly to your question about warnings, how we look at it, we produce tornado warnings today for our customers. We produce severe thunderstorm warnings. We produce warnings of 30-mile-an-hour winds and 60-mile-an-hour winds and 10-mile-an-hour winds for some clients that they can't do spraying, for example. So, but we don't do that for the consumer. We do not put out our own. We draw the line at, if you're a consumer or a prosumer, you get an app or whatever. We are a communicator of the National Weather Service warnings at that point. And so we're very clear about that in our marketing and how we portray ourselves. But if you're a business-to-business customer, if you're a utility, or if you're even an outdoor concert or whatever, we will give you a tornado warning. We will give you whatever warning it is, because we are focused on very site-specific areas. We are focused on what are our customers' needs. How do they need it? Do they need a phone call? Do they need a text message? Do they need an app messaging, or whatever it is? So we think through that. We're not, when it's a B2B business, it's another business that we're selling to, we're focused on meeting their needs, and we will send them National Weather Service watches and warnings, but we also send our own warnings too. And sometimes those warnings are clarifying National Weather Service warnings. For example, there's a tornado warning for this area, and by the way, that tornado's passed you already, so we'll tell them that, those kinds of things. So it's very much when you got people on the other side of the phone or other side of an app or whatever, and they're making sometimes billion-dollar decisions, or the decisions of saving 80,000 lives or 100,000 lives, we don't stop. We do the best we can for that client using the best technology we have, the best risk communicators that we have. We're really focused on that and being very concise. And we came away even with Hurricane Sally here. If for example, a little more junior person, if they just don't have confidence sometimes, having confidence in what you're doing and telling them helps those decision makers make decisions too. And so we really are focused on risk communication to our clients to really help them. We won't make any decisions for them, but we're going to help them make their decisions.
So doesn't that ultimately get to the consumer though? I mean, isn't it, or do you specify in the contract with those businesses that once you take it from that point, we're out? Because it's still going to the consumer, correct?
I would say very few times does it actually make it out to the masses. I mean, it might go to a few consumers or whatever, but typically it might go to 5,000 employees of an oil company, for example. We have an oil company that has 5,000 people that use our app, for example, and so they will get those kinds of things. But from just broadcast to the world, if you will, we don't do that, and none of our customers really do that either. It's more of an internal use or very specific use. And
what about events? Like you talked about big events,
right,
outdoor events.
Well, typically what happens there is I've seen them, and they do things like show our alerts on a big screen. Some of them have apps that have then hit an API and get our alerts and tell them lightning's coming, or for a outdoor festival, 40-mile-an-hour winds, they got to shut it down. Basically, lightning within 8 miles, they shut it down. All those kind of things. So we're more specific as to what their needs. The consumers that are sitting in that stands might get a warning from us through some of their not our channels, but their channels. But they won't get it out in the out there driving down I-35 or some interstate or whatever. They're not going to get our warnings like that.
Interesting. So you mentioned before about AI. Is this your own proprietary stuff, or are you guys using like Watson, or what do you guys do?
Well, Watson is IBM, and IBM's a competitor. So no, we're not using Watson.
Sorry, I shouldn't have brought that up.
Come on, Maz. What the heck, man?
No, we have a whole data science team, and we're building our own solutions that are from using tools and machine learning tools and other things. But we have a whole team of PhD data scientists that are working on this, and they're side by side with PhD meteorologists and building, we think, really innovative tools for our customers that way. So it's as the size of our company at this point, it's really using our own people and our expertise that we've built over the years and from many companies, and when you pool a whole bunch of PhDs and a bunch of master's degrees and a whole bunch of software engineers and now a whole bunch of data scientists, we're very excited about what that mix of people will do as we go forward in time, for sure.
Have you named your AI? It's like Bob's AI or something.
I was going to call it Mike, but we haven't.
Nice. Your license plate says AI.
Hey, Mike, let's go back to weather for a second. Do you have a specific weather event in your memory bank, or like a moment in time that made you focus on weather? Like, was there a thing that happened to you as a kid, or as a young adult or something like that made you get into the weather?
In a kind of a strange way, grow up in Minnesota. I was a Boy Scout, and they had a Boy Scout weather merit badge. And through that process, I built my own rain gauge, and I built some sort of
no way
thing, and took measurements for a month or whatever, 2 months, and that was the spark. It wasn't like severe weather, or even though we have that in Minnesota and all that, and obviously winter is big there and all that, but that spark for me was to get the Boy Scout weather merit badge, believe it or not.
That's a great story. That's amazing.
That is awesome.
Girl Scouts sell cookies, Mike's selling rain gauges. I'm up 10 grand, you guys.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the entrepreneur side too.
Right.
It could have been, right.
That's awesome.
So, Mike, when are we going to be seeing you on Shark Tank? You going to be on Shark Tank anytime soon?
No, I don't have the $100 billion those guys have or whatever, but I do actually really enjoy the working with small entrepreneurs. I talked to a group out of India this morning, actually. Just there are 5 people in a garage, and I told them my story and what they were doing, and I do invest in a couple small startup kind of companies that I think are outside of weather, honestly, because I don't want to be in the whole weather competition space. But I really enjoy the entrepreneur and helping entrepreneurs. I help some students here. They have a entrepreneur program, and so I've helped a couple of groups formulate a business plan and all that as part of the competitions kind of thing. So it's a passion of mine to help.
Cool.
Well, hey, Mike, that's the sound. So, Brady, off of what you just asked Mike, it is time for our lightning round. So, Mike, this is our game show of flashy and brilliant questions that we always play with our guest. And so tonight we're going to play a game because of your entrepreneurship and business background. We're going to play a game called Deal or No Deal. But this is not the deal or no deal that you're used to. This is not the Howie Mandel pick a case that might have the $100,000 in it.
No models?
Yeah,
no models. Sorry, I'm as good as it's going to get
Well,
tonight.
hold on, guys. Look at this.
You have
face.
the Howie Mandel
come on.
haircut.
It is
I
a
tried out
podcast.
to be the Bachelor, and they said I was this close.
Ah.
So hold on.
So this is going to be based off of Shark Tank, actually.
Okay.
So interesting segue, Brady. So what I'm going to do, so Mike, you've got a role in this, and then Freaks, you have a role in this. Mike, your job is, so I'm going to give you a product, and what you need to do is tell me, was an offer made on that product or not? No offer given.
on the Shark Tank show. Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
And then the
I know
Freaks,
that.
once Mike has made his decision, and we'll pick it right or wrong, then Freaks, it's your job to decide, was this a successful business or not? Did it go out and make some good money, or was it a failure?
So these are products on the Shark Tank that were on Shark
These
Tank.
are actual products.
Okay,
Every
well,
single
this is
one of
gonna
these
be
was
easy.
actually on the Shark Tank.
Boy
So-
Scout rain gauge.
Watch
So
every
Mike-
episode.
Mike, here's the first one. The first one is the Bed Jet. The Bed Jet, which was a bed heating and cooling fan. Was an offer made on this or not?
I would guess yes.
No offer was made on that. There was no deal made on the Bed Jet.
I'll answer it then.
but the
No
Freaks-
money was made.
So Freaks, you don't think it was success?
No, it's
the
called
guy
a
was
window.
smart. The guy behind it was it wasn't.
It was a success. So even though a
What?
deal wasn't made, they made $26 million in 4 years since
No
airing
way.
on this Bed Jet
The guy-
that blows hot or cold fan under your cover.
I will
could
say
do
the guy behind it was a NASA guy. So I mean, there was a lot of brains behind
Here
it.
we go,
the
Mike.
I could do the same thing with a burrito for half the price.
All right, next one, Mike, is Toy Guru. Toy Guru. It was a toy rent with option to buy online company. So you could rent toys, and then you could choose if you liked it, you could keep it and buy it, or you could return it. But you basically rented toys. Was a deal made on Toy Guru?
You know, I saw that episode, but now I can't remember what happened. It sounds like a good services model that they might actually like, so I'll say yes.
And that's correct. They did make a deal with Toy Guru. Freaks?
Not successful. Not successful.
No, I don't think it was
No,
successful.
And it was not successful either.
Okay.
No, there was some big fallout with
Robert
whoever
definitely bought that. Robert
made-
definitely bought in on that.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, back to you. Tycoon Real Estate. This was a crowdfunding real estate service. So it was
Oh my
crowdfunding.
God.
Everybody could go in together to buy a office building or something and get involved in real estate without having to put. It's like a real estate mutual fund sort
right.
of deal. Yeah. Was a deal made or not?
I don't think so.
It's correct. No deal was made. Everybody passed up
No.
on that. Was it a success?
No way.
Freaks.
Sounds
They
like
got
a real
personal.
estate investment
The
trust.
Sharks got personal against these guys, so I don't think.
Yeah,
think
no
so.
deal was. It was not successful either.
They hated this product
That was a
so
bomb.
much.
All right, we're going back to you, Mike. We're going to look at Wicked Good Cupcakes. These were gourmet cupcakes in a jar. Was a deal made or not?
Oh yeah.
I would think so, yes.
And you actually would be correct on that. A
Yeah.
deal was made. And gentlemen, was it successful or not?
think
You
it
know
was
how I know it's
big
successful?
bucks.
Because I literally have bought it every single Christmas for 5 years in a row. So yes, for sure.
Off
it's
of Brady
success.
Harris,
So good.
it was a success.
They made
Yeah,
money.
Flavor, Brady.
So
What flavor?
good.
$14 million in sales just a couple
I get the
years
variety
after airing
box.
on the show.
Wow.
They
The
did
Bride
well.
box?
Hey, are they the guys that have the cupcake vending machines as well?
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah, man. My
That's a
wife-
good idea,
Shelf
though. Hey,
life on
Mike,
that one.
the Squatty Potty. This was a toilet stool designed for easier bowel movements. Was a deal made on the Squatty Potty?
I saw that episode. I don't think so.
There was. Someone made
Yeah.
a deal on it.
Wow.
Big
Was it
bucks.
successful, gentlemen?
Oh, it was like
bucks.
100 million plus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
24.
sure.
Listen to this. 24 hours after airing, they had $1 million in sales.
oh my goodness.
We
and
have
33 million just a few years
Hey,
later.
what is a
do.
squatty potty? Somebody explain this. What is a squatty potty? Phil,
Massive.
demonstrate for me. What
So,
is
so
It's
yeah,
straight.
go ahead, Matt. Talk to us about it, Matt.
Basically, I've not used it, but it's in one of our bathrooms. And basically, it's like a little stool that you put your feet on, which kind of gives you you're kind of crunched up a little bit, but it really helps.
Matt, your homework,
Gives you a
before-
a mechanical
your homework
advantage.
Next episode is to
Yeah.
try it out and let us know if it works.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike.
I'm good
Play by
already.
play.
Let's keep moving, Mike. We have the Rocket Book. The Rocket Book is a reusable paper notebook that erases when microwaved. Was a deal made on the Rocket Book or not?
Ooh, I think not.
Yeah, there was no deal made on the Rocket Book. Gentlemen, was it successful?
So it's like
No.
a fire hazard.
no?
I don't know.
No,
What?
it was successful.
I
They
have
sold.
one.
Listen, they sold 500,000 of these things and $10 million in 2 years after airing.
MJ,
I
you say you
I
have one. Tell us
I have
about it.
one. It's you put it's a book you write on. You use I think it's a special pen. I'm not sure, but you use that. Then
He
if
doesn't
you
know. He doesn't use it.
no, I
Ink and
have
urine?
I have used it,
Invisible
but
ink?
I just don't know if the pen is something. I've never bought another one or used a different pen on it. I've used only the one that came with it because I got it at a conference or whatever as a handout. But anyway, you write on it, right, and then you put it in the microwave with a cup of water, and it erases it, and it's kind of
Wait,
Which here was the thing. I read that people were like, "That's not going to be successful because no one's going to buy another one." And they might not have. Maybe it was a one-hit wonder. Who knows?
It's
But-
not perfect.
What happens
but
if you
it's-
microwave it too long? Does it like catch on fire or like is it?
All right.
burn?
Well, welcome to Stormfront
Haven't-
Freaks,
haven't
where we
tried.
talk about notebooks and how they erase. All right. So we'll keep the game show going, Mike. We got two more. I'm going to do two more. The next one is Sweet Balls.
Oh gosh.
Sweet Balls, which is a cake ball company. Can they make cake balls? But they
Sweaty
call it
balls.
Sweet Balls. Yeah. Was a deal made?
Yes, I think it was.
There was a deal made on Sweet Balls. Gentlemen, was it successful?
I think so.
probably.
Every single food product. that I'm sure
It was not.
so.
No, it was Sweet Balls was not successful. That was not a go.
Really?
So good.
All right, the last one, Mike. The Gato Cafe. Patron pays an admission fee to sip coffee with rescue cats, and if they like one, they can adopt it.
Yes.
What
Brady's done this.
I got a hairball.
was a deal made on?
I saw that show. I remember. I think somebody did actually do that.
That's incorrect. No one made a deal. Was it successful, gentlemen?
God, I hope not.
It was successful for me. So that's all
No,
I
it was
can-
not successful either.
Oh, come on. There's cat cafes everywhere. That's bull crap.
There's fruit in my coffee.
Okay, well, hey, great job, Mike. You did outstanding. The freaks did kind of so-so on that. But let us know, how can our listeners find you on social media? Where can they track you?
At IELTS on
Stalker.
Twitter. That's the easiest way. And then just search for michael.ielts on LinkedIn. That's the best way to find
And
me.
how do you spell that?
EILTS.
There you go. Thank you. All right, well, I think it's time for our final break. We're going to be right back with hashtag WeatherFools. And it's going to be a strong PG-13 tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Put on the kids' earmuffs. But Weather Trollbot 5000 is coming back as well, so stay tuned.
Hey, Mike, when you're younger, did y'all do the EILTS?
We did not. Not that I know.
No, okay.
What is that?
I like that.
How do you spell IELTS?
Yeah, people butcher that name all the time, but you guys have done great with it. Appreciate it.
We practice.
I just avoid saying it.
Exactly. Mike is easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, can you do me a favor? Can you do a quick soundbite for us and just say, hi, I'm Mike IELTS with DTN and the makers of Radar Scope, and you're listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Sure, I can try. Hello, I'm Mike IELTS. What did you want me to say?
You just say with DTN, but throw in makers of Radar Scope or something, because that's what most people are going to relate to you with.
Got it. I'm Mike IELTS with DTN, the makers of Radar Scope. I've been excited to be on the Stormfront Freaks podcast. Good?
All right,
Beautiful.
we'll take it. Good
Awesome.
job.
Perfect.
Good job.
Okay, hold on. I have to know in the chat, what are they talking about? That's a crop duster fan. I don't.
That was Mass's comment about after a burrito. I think it's a crop.
Ah,
duster
yes.
fan.
Brady, come on.
They
grow
talked
up,
about
man.
the commercial's great, a rainbow pooping unicorn. What the
See?
And I
We all
believe
go off
that's,
on
and
a
I believe
tangent.
that's the squatty potty.
Squirrel.
going on?
Oh, Brady, when you walk through a grocery store
I,
and you
I
let
don't.
one go,
So, Mike, you're in.
and
Mike, you're
nobody
in Norman.
knows, it's called a crop dusting.
Let's just say, when I let one in the grocery store, I'm speeding to the next aisle because I do not want anyone to see it. Or
Mike,
to smell it.
did you say you're in Norman?
Yeah, Norman, Oklahoma.
Awesome. Next time we're back there, guys, like
Yes.
200th episode or something, we'll pop in.
Look,
I would,
Yeah,
I would
we-
love that.
We did our 100th episode down there with.
Do 150. Let's not wait to 200. Let's do
Yeah, really.
150.
Last time I went, I got Corona. I will wait till
Yeah.
200. Okay.
Good. Well, hey, Mike, appreciate you taking the time with us tonight.
Thank you.
Again, we will edit and then upload the audio podcast Sunday. So I'll probably just post some things on social media and attach you so you see it, so you know when it's up.
That's cool. That's cool. I'll spread it around my 20,000 LinkedIn followers or whatever too.
Well, yeah.
Awesome.
Good job, Mike.
You bet, you bet.
All right,
Thank
appreciate it. Thanks,
you. All right,
sir.
you guys. Really appreciate it.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Mike.
We had fun.
I did too.
Damn it,
All
I
right.
forgot to ask him if he would accept my resume.
I wanted to find out what are they looking for in this entrepreneurial thing.
Yeah, I love it. I love Radar
Hey,
Scope.
Ray Leichner just jumped on. What's up, Ray?
Yeah. Hey guys.
Hey, I was going to ask Ray if he was in some of our friends in the Northeast, if they're going to chase Maine for
Teddy?
this hurricane.
Teddy?
Teddy.
Oh yeah.
Teddy's
I don't
going
know,
up
man.
north.
The
I'm
latest ensembles have it not hitting, so I don't know. It's going to be
Yeah.
close, man. I don't know.
Yeah. It'll
Let me tell you, though,
How
out
many- how
there,
many
just the
hurricanes-
waves.
How
Greg,
many
what do you
hurricanes
think?
have made landfall in Maine?
Right. I don't know.
Newfoundland
Sandy?
gets them all.
Yeah, I
Newfoundland
suppose
gets
they
the post-tropical stuff all
Yeah, I
the time.
suppose.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be a
I'm going to go get a
huge
drink. Hold
storm.
on.
It's going to be a massive storm. So even if it stays off the coast, they're going to feel, they're definitely going to feel something from it.
Never mind. Just let's all get on a flight to Bermuda.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my
no
God.
kidding.
I mean, right now they look to take a direct hit.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know.
As a-
if
as a
I mean,
major hurricane.
after just getting hit with the category 1 or 2 from Paulette, I don't know, man. That's infrastructure is already going to be sketchy. That would be
Thing about them is they're kind of built for it. Like
really.
yeah, like it's not like if it hits some of these places in the Caribbean that are
Yeah.
maybe they've got the pretty good infrastructure, but
Let's
They-
go
they-
then.
They'd
Let's
have
go.
to be. I mean, they have
Yeah.
to be.
yeah, they
Hey,
have to be.
I'm telling you what, if we all went as the freaks, we all went. That would be quite. We have a podcast from the middle of a hurricane.
What we need though, if we go, is going to be like the red suits that they had in what was it, Armageddon, with the red suits, and we could be walking out in slow motion
There you
out
go.
onto a wharf.
With our vacuum unit.
Here's the
Yeah,
here's the deal. My grandparents have a place down in Florida. Next time there's an Irma, we're going and we're riding it out. All right.
Where in Florida?
It's Naples area, so
Okay,
it's
yeah.
literally right where Irma hit pretty hard. So
Hey,
that would be-
Garrett wonders how far into the Greek list do you think we'll get? Anybody guess?
I mean, we're gonna get there for sure. I mean,
Oh,
we're only
well,
what
I think-
halfway through, right, Greg?
Yeah. What are we on right now? Where are we at? Sally? No, Teddy.
No,
Ted-
we
the
got
last-
one left.
the last
W.
one.
Is it
That's
W? Is it Willard? That's the last one.
That's the last
Yeah,
one,
it is.
Willard.
Oh, really?
It's about to be named too. I would guess it's going to be named here in the next day
yeah,
or two.
and then we're into the Greek.
The one in the golf. Okay,
Lord,
here we go. Brady, Weather Fools.
Yep.
Hey, question for you. I have something that maybe I won't play because we can't hear it, right?
There's a way, if you want to play it there to hear it, there's a way we could do it. But
How
what
about
is it?
how about it's actually a comedian talking about, it's a minute 23 clip, so it's probably not great to play here, but to kind of sell it and put it on the show notes area so people can check it out. And it's funny. It's the guy talks about a guy who strapped himself to a tree during a hurricane. And
Why don't you just imitate it, Maz? And you
no,
could,
it's not the
deli-
same. It's not the same.
It is. You're pretty funny,
No.
Maz. You are very funny. You don't give yourself enough.
This is
credit.
Ron White we're talking about. He's funny.
I don't know.
Yeah, true.
MJ, do you have my Weather Fools?
I do not see your.
I've got
screen
them.
yet.
I've got the two you sent me, but
Okay, yeah, that's all I had. Yeah,
email. Okay.
yeah.
So
Like,
you've
do
got
I need
two.
do I
I've
need to
got
queue
two.
them up?
Yeah, you got to share screen. if you,
Yeah,
want
you got to
see it.
share. You share
Oh,
the
okay.
screen. I'm not going to do it for you.
Oh, okay.
What do you?
How many
what the fuck
Weather
you think
Fools do
I
you
am?
have?
I got 2 from listeners.
I'm not your enabler. Hey Ray, this is
Phil.
caramel apple cider moonshine.
That's what it was.
Oh my God, that is aggressive, Phil.
I told him
That is
apple something.
aggressive.
But look at that. Look at that separation there. Oh,
Jeez.
and this is all the caramel apple cider, and this is all the moonshine. So it's
how
going to get
early do
better
you
as
have
I
to get
go.
up tomorrow morning?
You don't have to work, do you, tomorrow?
Yeah, it's nothing. Trust me, I've already gone through one of those, and I'm.
Are you working from home?
I'm just
bedside?
fine.
Working from Throne?
No, I'm working. I'm actually today. I'm on furlough, so I'm not working. today.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
We got some furlough time from.
No sports?
Yep.
Right. Should be part of the Big Ten. Come on. They're coming
Oh,
back.
well.
Coming back.
They're coming back, and then I just read today that the MAC is talking about the same thing now too. But
Dominoes are gonna fall.
They don't want to be
the
sued.
problem is, I read that the Big Ten is going to spend somewhere between $750,000 to $1 million just in testing,
Just
to be
to-
able
yeah,
to
right.
just to be able to have
Yeah.
the football season,
Yeah, I'm not
and that's
surprised.
per team.
Are they doing it
per
with fans?
team.
Man.
What?
No, there's no fans.
No fans.
Yeah.
Or very
I
limited.
mean, in the end, they'll end up making money. I would think. I mean,
Oh,
even
yeah,
though they're
yeah,
spending
they
that
will.
much,
They will.
at least break even. I mean, they just
Oh,
they
no.
bring in so
They'll-
much money.
With as much
make
as they
money.
pay the players, though, I mean,
Nice.
the TV money will be
That's a whole nother.
that's a
podcast.
whole show
Yeah.
on its own.
Rona Bowl.
the Rona
And
Bowl.
it's and it's
Oh
supposed
my
to go
God.
to like December 17th or something. So
Yeah,
There you
they'll
go.
have just a Just a bowl for everyone that's gotten
Rona Bowl.
coronavirus. And anyone that's tested positive will play in the Rona Bowl, and everyone else will play
There you
in
go.
the playoff.
There'll be nobody left by then.
It'll just be a bunch of people that are just sick walking around.
All right. We ready?
So who's got it? So I've got one. Greg's
I got two.
one.
Yeah, nobody shared their screens yet, though. I got 2.
Oh, sorry. I got share
Phil,
screen.
am I leading it?
You're leading it. Yep.
Perfect. Okay.
There you
So
go.
we have. So MJ's
Uh,
got 2. Phil's got 2. Greg's got 2. I've got 1.
Do you want me just to like not say anything and just put it in the show notes, or you want me to mention that it's going to be in the show notes?
Like, was this just a comedy act, or was
It's
this
a
real, or
minute
what?
23
We'll
in
mention
the middle
it.
of
I'll
a
mention
comedy
it.
act,
I'll mention it.
and it's from like Hurricane George, I think it was in the Keys, Florida Keys.
And someone really did this? or
Somebody
he's
really
just-
did this.
Okay.
No, he really did this.
I'll mention it, Maz. I'll kick it over to
Okay.
you for like
All
1
right.
second.
Just say something like Maz
Yeah.
has got a good one too that you'll have to check
Yeah.
out the show notes.
Right,
for.
right. That's cool.
Episode 114.
Ooh. Sure, it's not
Episode-
113.
114. Episode 114. All right, and then Brady, when you're done, I will take it for Weather Trollbot.
All right.
We have. I'm so backed up on Weather Trollbot. Holy crap!
Really?
These are coming in now like Weather Fools come in from people like our
almost as
listeners and
backed up
viewers.
as Maz when he doesn't use the squatty potty.
That's right.
Right.
That's why I have the fan in the bed.
Oh, so many good opportunities for names here this week.
I've been writing a few of them down.
Except we weren't live for that, so I don't know if we can
No.
We were earlier, but
Oh,
use
okay.
it.
All right, so we'll do intro. We're gonna do a little applause, and then Brady, you'll also hear
Ooh, like it.
right.
This is that band that sounds like a spaceship. I've never heard.
No, it's not Jefferson Starship.
okay.
Yeah, who is it again?
Yeah, exactly. All right, ready?
Oh my god.
let's go.
Let's pull it together in 3, 2.
Welcome back. That's the Who again, a band that I love and that I don't know at the same time. Guys, it's time for #WeatherFools, everyone's favorite part of the show. I always say that, although we have Trollbot coming up, so it's going to be competing with Trollbot for the favorite part of the show here. So what is WeatherFools for those that it's your first time listening or you just haven't really paid attention to the podcast before? So WeatherFools is us as the freaks. We're going on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wherever we can find a video or just an article of someone that did something not so smart or just downright stupid when it comes to weather. Phil, I hear you have 2 weather fools this week. Always an overachiever. Phil, let's go to you.
I do. So the first one, this is everything's in Spanish, so I don't know where it's from. It doesn't say where exactly it's from. But it is a truck in a flood. And if you see this pickup truck, it's approaching the flood, and then it's deciding if it should cross that moving river,
God.
basically.
Man.
Oh, no.
The other street is just moving, and you can tell he's thinking about it.
Don't do it.
He's
He's
like,
thinking about it.
Oh,
I think
And
we
he
can do
goes,
this. I think
and
we
of
can
course,
do it.
he goes right into it, and there goes his truck.
There it goes.
And his wife right now is going, I told you.
He's starting to float away, too. Look at that. Oh, my God.
And away he goes.
Well, here's the fun part. Here's part 2.
Okay.
And of course, the 2 guys that were in the truck, they came out of the truck with a cooler and a beer in their hand. And they're just now hanging out by that flowing river by their truck.
It wasn't their truck.
So they're like, oh, yeah, it was.
There it is.
Because there's
Oh, man.
Oh, my
man.
God. Part of me thinks like they were drinking those beers before they got into the truck, and now they're just
Yeah,
continuing.
that didn't help him make a good decision there. All right, number 2, you will appreciate this, Greg. This comes from Twitter, and actually, the initial part of it was from a great storm chaser, storm photographer up in Canada.
Nuke NATO.
How do I get this bigger? I can't. Anyway, she it's Michaela, and I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Awasiuk, thank you. So she had this great shot of a tornado. She said, hey, here's my view from Scarth, Manitoba. It crossed the road 800 meters away from us. Well, some moron, Danny Hensley at D Hensley Chicago says, "Why can't you just use measurement in feet? Nobody
good
knows
God.
what meters are."
Wow.
And of
Ouch.
course, every comment from there on out had something to do with, the United States is about the only country that uses the
You know the
empirical
best part of
system.
that story, though, Phil?
God.
She gave birth to a baby like 2 days later after taking
I
those
think I
tornado
heard something
pictures.
about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it was
Oh my
great.
God.
Wow.
So just stupid people.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
maybe not as much a weather fool as a metric fool, but could go either way.
Metric fool.
What a maroon.
Maroon, yeah.
Oh, Phil, those were pretty good, man. Those are pretty good. Those are going to be a tough to top. Greg, or Greggles as he's going by on today's podcast. Greg, who is your weather fool this week?
Well, sticking with the theme of God bless America, we got a guy, Hurricane Sally in Pensacola, Florida, and he's out on a dock, which is basically at water level at this stage, and looks like there's probably about 60 or 80 mile an hour winds, and he's got the American flag looks like it's on a shovel. And he's got a beer in one hand and his American flag shirt. And I wish you could hear it. It's a TikTok video, but
He's TikToking.
it's one of those country songs about, God bless America. Anyway, it's I thought it was pretty ridiculous.
Is that a Schroeder piano next to him? What was that?
Now, my second one is also from Hurricane Sally, and this is a traffic camera that when everyone evacuates. When a hurricane's about to approach, it gives some people the opportunity to
what you
do
do.
donuts in the intersection. So there's a guy here in a Corvette, and he's doing donuts in an intersection because there's no traffic around. And I just thought, maybe you're not taking this whole hurricane thing seriously. So those are my two.
That's
Man.
good.
Good.
Well,
that's
hopefully U-turns are legal in his state, or else that was very illegal what he just
Yeah, no
did. And
kidding.
he's on camera now too.
TikTok has to have a plethora of weather fools.
Oh, they've got
I would imagine. I don't have an account.
I
or
have to
look
get
at
my
that, but-
13-year-old
neither.
daughter to show me TikTok though. before I
Wow, Greg, those are pretty awesome, man. Oops, sorry. Those are pretty awesome, man. Sorry, my mic fell over there. A little bit too much summer pills, if you know what I mean. MJ, let's kick it over to you, man. I hear
All
you
right.
had two weather fools as well.
I've got a couple. They were listener contributions. We got Jay is painting shared us this one, and of course it's the whole flooding thing, and it's the turn around, don't drown as you see the car in the middle. But one of the things here, the fool for driving in there, and they're sitting on top of the car, and they had to be rescued. So they're not just putting themselves in danger, but they're putting other people in
Everybody.
danger too. And that's just not right. And then the second one, this you got to see. This was shared with us by Matt Miziorko at Snarky EM. And I'll start this up. This is a bus. Look at the cars floating.
Oh no!
There's cars floating, and this is a bus
Oh,
driving
no.
through a huge flooded intersection. But
Is
look
he
at the
hitting
cars.
the cars?
Look at the cars bobbing in the.
Oh
in the-
no!
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow, they made it through.
they made it through.
A public
But,
bus.
Yeah, but a public bus driving through
You're
where
fired.
it shouldn't be.
Well, yeah, not
got-
only that, not only they're risking the bus, but they're risking their job. I mean, if that
Oh, yeah.
bus goes under, they're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
There's no way. Wow.
Brady, the bus has to make it on time, though. Come on, man.
It's all about schedules.
You know what? Good point. That's a good point, Greg. I'm sorry.
I would be
I'm
so
an idiot.
pissed off if I was on that bus and then the guy stopped.
You pull the button. I got to get out here.
That's pretty good, MJ. Those are pretty good, man. So, Maz, for our last weatherful this week, I hear you've got a good one.
Yeah, this is one you actually will have to wait and go to in our show notes because it's a comedian, Ron White, talking about for about a minute and a half about when I think it was Hurricane George hit the Keys and a guy decided to tie himself to a tree to withstand Category 3 winds.
Makes
And
sense.
Smart man.
it's funny to hear, so we'll put it in the show notes for that, but I can't really show it right now, okay?
You know what? That's something I've always wanted to do, but never had the balls to do it. So good for him.
You wouldn't
Good
have
for
to
him.
either. So, yeah.
We don't envy him, but good for him, man. All right, well, that's it for Weatherfuls. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see the links or the videos or Maz's incredible comedian video, check out our 114 show notes on stormfrontfreaks.com or on your favorite podcast app. Got them there as well. All right, Phil, let's kick it over to you, man.
And that would be episode 114, right?
It would. That would be episode
Okay,
114.
just double checking.
It went zip when it moved, pop when it stopped, whir when it stood still. I never knew just what it was. I guess I never will.
All right, that means it's time for Weather Trollbot 5000.
Is that what that song means?
I don't know. Not anymore. Not anymore.
I remember that song.
Me too.
I don't.
So that one won't be played again. But hey, this is the time I will warn everybody in advance, especially if you're watching Stormfront Freaks Raw, because it will be unedited. This will be the time to put earmuffs on the kids. This is a strong PG-13. But if you are listening to the podcast, we hope to catch everything and edit the stuff out. But Weather Trollbot 5000, if you don't know, we found her at a garage sale. We've kind of reconditioned her a little bit. She's this kind of beat up robot. And what we've decided to do was check out on social media all the trolls that are out there trolling our weather friends and looking at the responses that our weather friends are providing on social media. But we wanted to interpret that. So we now take that information, we plug it into Weather Trollbot 5000, and she spits out what our weather friend was really thinking when they type that social media reply to that troll. So it's always interesting. You never know what it's going to be. But we're going to start off first, of course, with I think every Trollbot has Ginger Z. And she just...
I think every time.
She continues to politely share her trolls with us. That's a good... it's sad she gets all these, but she does share. So this was on Twitter, and someone was she was responding to an angry either parent or angry teacher for being late to a class Zoom meeting due to Hurricane Sally. So this was just recently. And so the individual was, and here's the email even, timnelson@gmail.com. That's their Twitter handle. And they said, wow, thank you so much for keeping my daughter and her classmates waiting 50 minutes after 3 reschedules by you. Everyone loved the plug for your new books we should buy. And OMG, you answered nearly 4 questions. You are a generous soul.
Wow.
Anyway, so and Ginger, of course, classy as always, said, I told this class I could do a talk with their students. I couldn't get service to join them this morning because my hit's in a hurricane. And hurricane was caps. I'm happy to do more at a later date. I can't control what is happening in a hurricane. Please don't send me nasty notes like this as if I don't care. I also only rescheduled twice because I've been in 3 disasters in the last 4 weeks. Sorry the service wasn't working during this one. I never once said they should buy my book either. Thankfully, they left their email address as their handle before deleting emoji smile face. So very classy response. But so here's what we do. We got to take all that information and we got to plug it into Weather Trollbot to find out really what Ginger was thinking this whole time. All right. And then what Trollbot does, she spits it out. And here's what we got.
Here is what Ginger was really thinking. Holy shit, did you not see there is a hurricane? I know it may be sunny and fuck happy where you are, but here it's windy, wet and the phones don't work. I care more than you know, so can't wait for the wrath of my fans to bend you over and show you the 50 states.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh,
What does that even mean?
Weather Trollbot wasn't even
Show
holding
the
back
50
at all.
states.
50 states.
Oh my
That's
God.
funny.
We found the
Bend
show
over and show me the 50. I'm going to use that.
title. I think that's
good
the
one.
show. I think that's the
That's a good
show
one.
title, guys. Just being honest there.
Okay. All right. Next one comes from Chief Meteorologist Kelsey McEwen of CTV in Calgary. This was on Twitter. And Kelsey scratched the name out when she showed this, but it said, "Hi, honey. Did I miss your announcement of baby number 3?"
Oh,
And Kelsey says, "No, you didn't. Now's the perfect time to announce I am super bloated thanks to late night snacks and the arrival of my period. Honestly, I get this question." Yeah. She said, "Honestly, I get this question every month. Weird to share? No. I think we need to normalize that bodies change. They stretch, bloat, grow, and evolve." Hear, hear.
there you go.
And
That's a
happens
pretty
to
good
me, too.
answer.
All right, so we're gonna put Kelsey's info into Weather Trollbot. And we're gonna find out what Kelsey was really thinking when she replied. And
Maybe.
it takes a while. I'll tell you what. Here's the thing with Weather Trollbot. She kicks out this little tape. You know, it's the tape with the dots and the punches in it.
Right.
And then you're
Right.
trying
Luckily,
to
you
interpret,
read
but-
Braille.
Here is what Kelsey was really thinking. Yeah, you missed my announcement that I'm bloated and Aunt Flo is in town. Seriously, when the jungle fuck did it become important that if our bodies change we need to keep you informed? Every fucking month, I guess.
Oh, Kelsey was.
Bet she's a
Kelsey was
hoot.
Kelsey
Wow.
was feeling it.
Oh my
Kelsey
God.
was feeling it. All right, so we got to have equal representation. So here's Chief Meteorologist Mike Collier with KJRH TV in Tulsa. This was on Facebook after forecasting the recent snowfall that happened in the plains in Colorado and the plains. So this was while that was being forecasted. Jeremy Frazier said, "Based on the shitty forecast lately, I'll believe it when I see it." And Mike said, "Thanks, buddy. Love the positivity. God bless."
Jeez.
Nicely done.
So we're going to find out what he was really thinking. That was a pretty short response. But we're going to find out what was really going on.
Here is what Mike was really thinking. What a fuck knuckle.
What a fuck knuckle. There you go.
Nice and short.
That is nice and succinct.
You know, I'm not a huge fan of Trollbot, but she was on fire tonight. So.
He was.
Oh, we're not done.
You gotta crush
can't-
it.
Oh, there's
And
more.
we can't use that as our show title. I'm just saying.
No.
Okay, Chief. All right, here we got a bunch of Chiefs. Chief Meteorologist Mandy Bailey at KTEN TV. This is in Denison, Texas, and Ada, Oklahoma. This was on Twitter. Judy Pridey. We're going to use their names. If you're
Yes.
going to jump on and use it, we'll use it.
Beep beep meow.
Judy said, "Hi, Mandy. I watch your weather report every day. Just one little suggestion. Those hair extensions have to go. They are so obvious. Keep the good work up with the best in Texoma land."
Whoa.
So she did the
Kind of
sandwich.
backhanded, kind of.
Yeah.
backhand.
She sandwich.
She did
Positive.
the criticism between the two, right?
All the people.
Well, here's what Mandy came back and said. "I don't have hair extensions. The hair you see on TV is all grown straight from my scalp. Thanks for watching."
Oh, that's very, very nice.
Lovely
Yeah,
people.
so we're going to type that in.
Quick typer, Phil.
I can type pretty fast. I did like 60 words a minute in high school. I did pretty good.
Pretty abysmal.
All right, here's what she was thinking.
Here is what Mandy was really thinking. My hair extensions are obvious? Apparently not, Judy, because they are fucking real. So, thanks for watching. But can I trade you in for a viewer that's less condescending? Keep up the good suggestions. Wink emoji.
Wink emoji.
Man.
And we got one more. We got one
my
more.
God.
We're not done. None other than James Spann. Recently
who's-
on Twitter.
Who's trolling James Spann?
I know it's the world's
James will
going
put
to
a
hell
hit
in a
out on him.
handbag.
Yeah, no kidding.
And so here's what James was responding to. It was a deluge of trolls on the day that Hurricane Sally made landfall. So he must have just been getting tons of crap because he just posted on Twitter. He didn't even reply to anybody. This is just a flat out post. He said, "Dear Twitterverse, after no sleep and countless hours of multitasking over the past few days, I am not in the mood for trolls, haters, know-it-alls, or right-wing or left-wing political loons. We'll be blocking first, answering questions later. Thanks, your pal James.
That's pretty much everybody.
Oh my God.
Really?
All right, so that was again, all of our weather fans have pretty professional responses, would you say? And we're going to find out what he was really thinking.
Here is what James was really thinking. Today, no shit stains allowed on my social media. Don't have the energy to give a fuck. Block your ass. Block his ass. And a block for her. And a whole bag of block sitting right here.
He's just gonna. That's all. He's just a block everybody. I didn't even want to tag him on anything just for fear of him blocking me, probably. So that thanks, Weather Trollbot. We're gonna throw her back in the garage for a little while.
Bravo.
Very nice.
We will bring her out again, but I do think it's time.
Send me a postcard, drop me a line.
You've got mail, baby.
For the Freak Fan Box, MJ.
All right, we got one. We had a lot of them last episode. We got one tonight. Steve Collier, our friend, says, "What another great episode, guys! Thank you again. Made part of my drive out to New Mexico better. P.S. Poor Mr. Cantori. I feel bad, but at the same time, I don't think I've laughed that hard in a long time. I was crying. I was laughing so hard. So, thank you, Steve."
That and if you missed it, that was the episode with the inaugural potty mouth forecast.
Yep. Correct.
With Jim Cantori. So when we're done with the show, Greg, I'll play that for you. You can
Pretty awesome.
All right. Thanks, MJ.
Yep.
And that was our one friend, Steve. That's the reply. So I think that just about does it for this episode of Stormfront Freaks podcast. Thanks for listening or watching. And before I announce our next guest, if you like the show, don't forget to subscribe to or follow the show so you get notified and receive the latest episodes delivered right to your podcast player the moment it gets released. You can also send us your comments, your hashtag weatherfools, your trollbot, whatever. You can send it to questions@stormfrontfreaks.com, or of course find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search Stormfront Freaks and you'll find us there.
Unless we're blocked, right?
Unless we're blocked. Yeah, that could be possible.
Okay. Yeah.
Special thanks tonight to our guest, Mike Iltz. Did a great job. It's fun hearing what's going on. So that was awesome. In our next episode, we're going to be recording live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter on Thursday, October 1st, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. We get to talk with the National Weather Service Ready Weather Nation Preparedness and Resilience Program Lead, Doug Hildebrandt. That's a hell of a title.
Business card, yeah.
But we're going to get the chance to talk to Doug. But I think for MJ and Maz and Brady and Greg, I'm going to go ahead and signal the all clear. We'll catch you guys next time. So good night, everybody.
That's a wrap. Good job.
All right, Greg, here you go. You ready for...
Hey, I want to just point something out.
Oh.
I didn't talk through your extra today.
Oh,
well, you were saying, all the end stuff. I didn't actually talk in the middle of it.
Good.
Why, do you normally do that?
I did a few times, actually. Yeah.
Yes.
Did I give you shit?
I think you scolded him once.
You actually scolded
Good.
me.
Well, it worked. Then it worked. Then that was good. So Greg, this is what you missed. So we're going to have a new segment we're going to add called Potty Mouth Forecasts, where we take some well-known TV meteorologist and we're going to play one of their forecasts. And I lead it in by saying we found all this on the dark web. Right. Like these were edited out and discarded and someone dug in the trash and found these. But here's Jim Cantori. He was dealing with hiccups during this forecast.
But to the south of all that, this is where we've got the heat. There's actually some storms developing along the Red River. Oklahoma City's 87, 101 at Dallas, 97 degrees at Little Rock, 97 degrees at Houston. I'm not laughing at this, believe me, I'm laughing at myself. This low-level swirl continues to move away from the Baja. Plenty of moisture left over the corners. And some of these storms have the capabilities of producing some hail, as we've seen down toward Kachara Pass. They came in with 2 to 3 inches of hail on the ground. Denver has been spared from the weather today. It's all back in the mountains and southwest of Cheyenne. We've had some showers and some thunderstorms as well. All right, Southern California looking better as the air is starting to dry out even more so than what we had. A few showers around LA, on over through San Bernardino County. They just seem to be diminishing in intensity. Oh, all right, 1/10 to 1/2 inch. That's about it. Nothing terribly heavy here.
Oh.
Notice as we go on in toward Monday evening, I know a lot of you are sitting home and say, "Oh, Jim, how were the martinis for lunch? Huh? How many did you have? 3, 4, 6?" No, it's hiccups. Showers, thunderstorms through Pennsylvania down through the Mid-Atlantic. Some of them have been producing some very heavy rain. Again, seriously, Harrisburg down through Dover. Watch out because we have some going on as we speak. Tomorrow morning, all that shifts up toward New York City and Boston. Could be some very heavy rain for the rush hour. And we'll watch this little pesky upper low as it continues to drop through Arkansas and makes its way toward western Tennessee. That could mean some showers and some storms, and some of those could produce some rain. I've never smiled this much on the air before in my life. Locally 2 inches in the front range down through Kansas on into Oklahoma. Locally 3 inches from New York State down and through the Mid-Atlantic. Very slow-moving storms. And the two areas are merging, the Atlantic moisture and the Gulf moisture, just kind of merging here over New York State on in through West Virginia. 70s all the way up into southern New England tonight. So you know you're warm out ahead of that cold front. And down to the south, 90, 100-degree heat once again. As you can see out west, notice the 70s and 80s over the Intermountain region. So with the clouds building up in the afternoon, that should hold the temperatures down a little bit. And notice again, as we go through midnight tonight, many areas from the New England states all the way into the Tennessee Valley, a little on the wet side. Oh, I made it. Michael?
That's pretty damn good. Yeah, that's good.
That's so good.
Right.
I still love the half-speed version of What Are You Drinking?
What are you
That
drinking?
is still the best. Oh,
I
man.
can pull that out too quick.
All right,
Man.
good night, everybody.
You taking off?
You want me to keep it live?
Keep it live, sure. Let them listen.
Okay.
They can listen to what half-speed storm.
Oh, my
Freaks
gosh.
Oh, this is hilarious.
sounds like.
Skywarn Storm Spotter and Chaser, Bill Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Previous guest, since we're in her. Of course, hashtag Weather Fools. And there's always other things that are going to happen that I don't know about right now. So that always pops up. But before we get to all of that, we got to find out who's here tonight, who's on the show. It's always happy hour. We're always drinking, having a good time. So as long as you're not at work or driving, feel free to join us. But let's see who's here. I know MJ's here. What are you drinking tonight, MJ?
Hey, tonight the captain stopped by and dropped off a Morgan Coke for me.
He's a good man.
What kind of cup is that? What is that? Catch a what?
That is it's a promotional cup. It's called a Silipint. It's a silicone cup. It's really cool.
Oh, is it squishy?
Maz?
Is
it squishy? Maz, what are you drinking tonight?
I better stop there. Yeah. Anyway. I was like, Maz, stop. No.
As I'm trying to help you out.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate. I'm sporting my Husker cup with ice water.
You have a couple different Husker cups, because
I do.
That's not your normal one.
I just heard the Big Ten is only going to play the Big Ten this year, and Division 2s and 3s, I think, are all canceled.
They're done.
Yeah.
I am like, what the heck?
Yeah, that's I could do a whole nother podcast on that. All right, Dean, I hear you. What are you drinking tonight?
I'm just drinking a regular old Michelob Ultra. I'm kind of boring.
Low carb.
You know, just
smart choice. Just kidding.
It does the job.
So again, we've got Brady back, and I'll say this: we gotta change the intro and
Yeah, we do.
figure out a way to add Brady back in there, because I think Brady's back being a somewhat regular, but he's our talking about Big Ten. He's our Ohio State atmospheric science graduate, Brady Harris.
Hey.
No. What are you drinking? What are you drinking, Brady?
I'm drinking a Tennessee honey whiskey, and this is out of a glass that my sister-in-law got me for my birthday. So it's a very special glass. It's just a glass, but thank you for getting me that present. If you're listening,
Very nice.
All right, that's
That
half
is
speed.
funny
What are you
stuff.
drinking?
Oh my God, the whole
Wow.
show should be like that.
Can you play that live?
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah, you could play the whole show. It just would take you a couple hours to get through the show. That's all.
Oh, man.
My God.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for those that were still live with us tuning in. We appreciate you. Have a great night.
Night.
Curtis, I saw jumped on.
Night.
Awesome.
Oh my God.